Hi, I'm Andrew,
Hi, it's Suzanne.
and you are listening to Culips.
Yay! If you want to learn English for everyday use, you've come to the right place. At Culips, we help make English understandable. By listening to our podcast, you can learn natural expressions and conversational structure. If you're interested in learning more about Culips and what we do, check us out on Facebook or our website, culips.com. That's Culips.com. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy this episode.
Today, we are very excited to introduce a brand new type of episode, a real talk episode. And Suzanne, could you explain what a real talk episode is?
Sure. It's really fun. In Real Talk episodes, we're going to focus on expressions, practical expressions that you use every day. And in today's episode, we're going to look at how to take a cab, things you'll say when you would take a cab and speak to the driver.
Exactly. So this is something a lot of people do very often is take a cab or take a taxi. So first you will hear a dialogue where a character named Lisa is taking a taxi home from work, and she needs to give directions to the cab driver to bring her to her apartment. So take a listen to this dialogue, and afterwards we will discuss it and dissect it and talk about the key expressions that Lisa uses to make sure she gets home okay.
Hey there.
Hey, where are you going today?
5th and Franklin, please.
No problem. So here we are, 5th and Franklin.
Oh, great. My apartment is just down there. Can you keep going a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, make a right on this side street coming up,
Okay, no problem.
and it's just up here on the left. I'm in this brick building.
Okay,
You can pull over right here.
sure thing. Okay, so $16, please.
Here's a 20. Keep the change.
Great, thanks. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Okay, so we just heard a conversation between Lisa and the taxi driver. And now we are going to talk about some of the key expressions that were used in this conversation. So, the first key expression is 5th and Franklin, please. Lisa gets into the cab and she tells the driver, 5th and Franklin, please. Suzanne, what does this mean?
So Lisa is telling the cab driver the two streets that come to an intersection where her house or her apartment building is located.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know for sure if her apartment is on Franklin or on 5th, but it's in the general area. It's right near one of those streets. So she's giving him the best cross-section to then get to her more specific apartment number and street.
Exactly. So you can give a cab driver an exact address. You could say, take me to 1234 Franklin Street, please. But it's more common to give an intersection, the place where two streets cross. And In the dialogue we heard, it was Fifth Avenue and Franklin Street. And this is a very common way to direct your cab driver.
Yes, this is a very common and good way to give directions to a cab driver or anyone that's giving you a ride home.
Okay, let's look at the second key expression today. It's just down there. Can you keep going a bit? When the cab arrives at the intersection, 5th and Franklin, Lisa gives the additional instructions. It's just down there. Can you keep going a bit? And what does this mean, Suzanne?
This means that they haven't quite approached where her apartment is. They're not far away, but they're far away enough that they have more directions coming. So just down there is a polite way to let the cab driver know that we haven't quite reached it. There's still a bit more to go. Can you keep going a little bit is also another polite way to make sure that the cab driver keeps going in that direction because there's more directions to come.
Mm-hmm. So the cab is in the vicinity of where Lisa wants to go, but there's still a little bit more to go. And this is a way to communicate that she wants the driver to keep going so that she's not let off on the corner of 5th and Franklin.
Exactly. She wants to get her money's worth.
Yes. Okay, very good. What is the next key expression, Suzanne?
So the next key expression is when Lisa tells the cab driver to make a right. How would you explain what this one means, Andrew?
Well, this one is fairly straightforward. If you make a right on a street, you are making a right-hand turn. You are turning right onto that street. So when we're taking a taxi, this is a super useful expression. We can tell the taxi driver to make a right or make a left. Alternatively, we can say take a right or take a left. They're two expressions that have the same meaning and they rhyme. So that's cool.
That's true. And it's in place of really saying turn right up here or turn left down there.
Mm-hmm. And that's another expression you can say too. They're all polite. They all mean the same thing.
Yep.
So our next one is it's just up here on the left. Interestingly, in our second key expression, we heard Lisa say it's just down there. And now she's saying it's just up here. So what is the difference between these two, down there and up here? It can be confusing.
It can be confusing, but what she means is when she's referring to up here, it means that she's closer to the actual destination. And just up here is narrowing the vicinity even more, and they're kind of closing in on or getting closer to the location. And up here is a direction where you're going. So it's meaning to keep going up in this direction that we're traveling. And here means that it's close to her. So she's pointing to here on the left, as opposed to there, where it would be further from her.
Exactly. So that's a very nice explanation. I think we would use the expression, it's down there, when something is farther away from us.
Mm-hmm.
And we would say, it's up here when something is closer to us.
Yes.
I think that's a nice distinction between the two. And in both of those examples, we heard Lisa say just. It's just down there and it's just up here. And there's many reasons why we use this word just. One of them is to sound more polite. It's not being as direct. You're not ordering the taxi driver, so to speak, when you say just. It makes you sound very polite. And can you think of any other reasons why we'd say just, Suzanne?
Yeah, I think we would say just as well to get more specific. Saying it's down there could kind of mean a bunch of different places. It could mean on the corner. It could mean go down there and turn around to the left. It's a little bit more general. Saying it's just down there kind of points you in a tighter vicinity. It brings you to a point.
You're telling the driver that it's not too far away.
Yeah,
It's close.
don't worry. You don't have to go too far. It's just a little bit more, just down there.
Right. So you're telling the driver that we're almost there. Don't drive too fast. We might pass it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And what is our last key expression for this episode?
The last key expression is when Lisa says, you can pull over here. Pull over. And I also think about pull up. Sometimes you can pull up over here as well.
Yeah, pull over, pull up. They have the same meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a nice, polite way to tell your taxi driver to stop and let you out of the taxi cab. So to pull over really means for the car to move to the side of the street and to stop. When you ask a taxi to pull over, he's not going to let you out in the middle of the street. He's going to move over to the side of the street and let you off near the sidewalk.
That's the safer place.
And this is, again, a very useful expression when you are taking a cab. You can pull over here.
And it's also useful in case you get a ride from a friend or an acquaintance from a party or something like that.
Mhm.
You can tell them to pull over here.
Totally. Good. So I think we should play this dialogue one more time for all of our listeners. But before we do that, we're going to ask you some comprehension questions, some listening questions that you can answer on your own after you've listened to this dialogue for a second time. Here they are, the comprehension questions. Number 1. When Lisa points out that she lives in this brick building, is she close to the building or far away from it?
The second comprehension question is, why does Lisa say just in the dialogue? Why does she use the word just, as in just down there, or it's just up here on the left?
And question number 3 is, why does Lisa say, keep the change, as she gets out of the taxi? Okay, so here's the dialogue one more time. Listen and try to answer these questions as you are listening to the dialogue.
Hey there.
Hey, where are you going today?
5th and Franklin, please.
No problem. So here we are, 5th and Franklin.
Oh, great. My apartment is just down there. Can you keep going a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, make a right on this side street coming up,
Okay, no problem.
and it's just up here on the left. I'm in this brick building.
Okay,
You can pull over right here.
sure thing. Okay, so $16, please.
Here's a 20. Keep the change.
Great, thanks. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye. If you want to find out the answers for the comprehension questions, visit culips.com and check out our blog post with the answers to the questions.
Exactly. And we would be happy if you answered these questions for us. You can send us your answers. We will take a look for you and tell you if you are correct or if there's something you should change to make your answers better. Well, thank you for listening, everyone. We really hope that you enjoyed this first Real Talk episode. If you find this kind of episode useful, please let us know. You can reach us through our Facebook page or our website, culips.com. And again, make sure to check out the website because it's the place where you can learn more about becoming a Culips member. All right, Suzanne, we'll talk to you next time.
All right, Andrew. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.